Hello, okay, this is my demonstration of my workshop on the water cycle. This is meant to be age appropriate for children between the ages of very young all the way up to 12, and then it can be adapted for older age groups like youth and adults as well. So this is the water cycle. In this diagram you can see that it begins with the water here in the ocean. Then you have evaporation with the heat from the sun, allowing water to evaporate up into water vapor. That's called condensation, which is held here in the clouds. Then, as it gets higher in the atmosphere, it condenses into water droplets that are held within clouds, and that's up here. And then once the clouds get very full with water and it's water vapor, it goes into precipitation, which can be either rain or snow, and it falls from the clouds back down onto Earth. And back on Earth, then we have collection. So the water can be collected in the ground as groundwater. It goes into streams, lakes, and rivers, as well as is collected into the vegetation and allows for our plants to grow. So that's the water cycle that can be easily demonstrated to children through a simple diagram. And then I would have a live demonstration of how the water cycle works from precipitation down into collection. And so that's here. And so here we have the many layers of the earth. This is how it would be shown if there was a slice cut through the earth. And so we have here the bedrock, which is at the bottom down here. And then this is the groundwater right here, which is held underneath. And then we have all of the grass, and on top of the earth, all the vegetation like shrubs, bushes, trees. And then this is the surface. So what happens is when there is just the bedrock or the gravel or sand and it rains, it simply goes right through. Then it rains and it's collected in groundwater. As you can see, that's demonstrated through being absorbed into the sponge, and that sits underneath the surface of the earth. And on the top we have the grass, vegetation, and trees, and so when it rains, that's collected underneath and is absorbed right here on the surface of the earth and allows trees, grass, etc. to grow. And then we have a demonstration here of asphalt, so that's like sidewalks, pavement, anything that's been built up by humans that you see in the cities. And when that's on top of all of these layers underneath the ground, then instead of it being collected and going back into the earth, you get runoff. So it flows right on the top and it keeps flowing until it causes either flooding or flows right back into a river or stream or lake or the ocean as well. So that's the demonstration, and this could be adapted to allow kids to interact with that. And I imagine there would be a basin with different materials like this, and then simple pouring, and that could be a nice interactive way for the kids to participate and understand what the different levels of permeable or impermeable surfaces can look like. And I can also have leading questions like, do you think this one will be very absorbent or not very absorbent with the kids, which is perfect. And then finally, I would have an interactive way for children to create their own model of the water cycle, and they would use different materials such as these. So we could have different fabrics and textiles for them to make clouds. They can use yarn and stuff like that for making the water, and these could be hot glued onto paper or also having stencils with cardboard and then wrapping things around like the yarn or gluing them onto the cardboard. And then we have the sun, as well as materials like this, suede for the earth, and different felt or other textiles to create a nice interactive way for them to understand the water cycle. So that's my water cycle workshop. Thank you very much. And this is my rain stick.